So let me formally introduce David Bolognesi, and please correct me if I'm mispronouncing David. For the last 8 years, David's been instrumental in helping state employees become retirement ready through specialized consultations and workshops. With advanced degree from Italy in finance, law, and international commerce, plus historical studies from Cambridge, he brings truly a global perspective to California state service. So without further ado, David, the floor is yours.
Perfect. Can you all see the screen? First steps to enrolling?
Yes, correct.
Wonderful.
We see it.
Okay, good morning still, everybody. My name is Davide Bolognesi, and I am from CalHR. And I'm here today because whether we come back to the office 4 days a week or stay, as we all hope, 2 days a week in office only, we all want to retire one day. And one way to retire is to get ready for it. So today we're going to talk what does it take for a state employee to retire successfully. Today we're going to review who is eligible for Savings Plus, why you should enroll, and what plans do we offer, different way you can contribute to Savings Plus, as well as how you can be successful long term. So let's see if my mouse is a bit, oh, okay. So let me see if I can, okay. So if you're in this meeting, you're a state employee, you are eligible for the Savings Plus plan. And if you leave the state, you will no longer be eligible. So remember that this is your unique windows of opportunity to enroll in the plan if you're interested, as well as people from the CSU system, as well as a rehire annuitant can be joining the plan as well. Now, this is not your savings account, meaning is not FDIC insured. There's the possibility to lose your principal. And so this should be treated as an investment vehicle with all the risk associated with it. Why would you want to consider Savings Plus? Well, we all count on our pension to pay for the bulk of our need in retirement. But if you will have the average state career of 25 years, your pension will probably cover only 50% of your actual need in retirement. And the IRS tell us something very important. For you and I to maintain our standard of living unchanged in retirement, we do need to replace around 75% of what we were making. 50% is not enough nowadays, and probably it's not going to be enough in retirement. Can you change that? Of course you can. You can stay longer with the state and therefore increasing the percentage the CalPERS will cover for your retirement. But if you do not plan to work more than the average state employee, the other option is to actually supplement your income with a Savings Plus account. Inflation risk is also another concern that we need to be aware. While CalPERS have cost of living adjustment embedded into it, it often doesn't meet the full 3% inflation rate that we experience over time. So that means that over time, the purchasing power of your pension may be reduced because of it. And of course, we all live longer, and that means that we all encounter additional costs as we plan our retirement. Some of those will be your medical cost. For us at that point, probably career change is no longer an issue. But again, more cost means more need to fund these expenses. And for most state employee, CalPERS alone may not be enough. This is the reason why you can invest this time to supplement your current income, future income with a Savings Plus contribution, which will be a direct paycheck deduction on either a 401k or 457 plan. Today, I will just go very quickly over the enrollment process. There's never a window when you can enroll. It's always open enrollment at Savings Plus. And so feel free to enroll at any time. But to enroll, for those that are interested, here a quick rundown. So step number one, you will just be asked your social security information, date of birth, and personal information, as usual, with most application. Step number two, you will have to select the username and password. Step number three, you will have to authenticate yourself with a two-factor authentication. Step number four, you will identify your pay center, which for most state employees is the state controller's office. And then you will select either if you want to open a 401k or 401k or 457 plan. And I'll speak about the difference in just a minute. You will either accept our investment allocation, which is for most state employee the target date fund. You'll review your allocation and decide either if you want to contribute a fixed dollar amount or you like the plan take care of itself by selecting a percentage of the paycheck, therefore letting the account adjust its contribution automatically with every new pay increase. You will confirm whether you want to be on a pre-tax or after-tax basis, assuming that tax will be paid at the beginning or when you take the money out in retirement, confirming all the decision you just made. And step number 7, good job. You have just enrolled in the Savings Plus plan. So it's just a simple 7-step process. But now we're going to review a little bit more information of what does it take to be successful long term. So one of the reasons people want to open a Savings Plus account, even if they have an outside account, is because the state of California Savings Plus plan is one of the cheapest option available to you. It's only $2 a month with a very low expense ratio, which is the actual cost to manage your account. In the industry, that cost is around 1%, and in the state, you pay a lot less. So consider also rollover any additional account you have outside of the state within Savings Plus if you want to reduce your cost. As I said before, you will be asked to choose between a 457 and or a 401k plan. What's the major difference between this plan? The major difference is this. The 457 will give you one extra advantage, meaning if you were ever to separate from state service prior to retirement, that meaning you will still have a job somewhere else, but not at the state or with any state agency, including SEIU, you will be able to take distribution for your account from your 457 account penalty free at any age as long as you are separated. Otherwise, both plan gives you the option to access your account balance while employed and after you turn 59 and a half, or of course in retirement when you actually retire. The maximum contribution limit per plan is $24,500 per plan until you hit age 50. After that, you will have an additional $8,000 called age-based contribution, which give you a total contribution amount for 2026 of over $32,500 per plan. So the big question is, when do we want to pay our taxes? I often hear never, and I wish we had that slide in, but of course we will have to pay Uncle Sam and the state also at some point during our career or in retirement. So when you decide to invest on a pre-tax basis, what you're saying basically is, I will pay later. And that later means when you take a distribution from your account in retirement, that's when you will be paid in taxes. On the principal, you never pay tax in the beginning with, and also in the interest you gain over time. Instead, if you invest on a Roth or after tax basis, that means that you will settle your tax bill up front, you invest, you pay your tax, and then you invest. And that means that in retirement, that amount is completely tax-free. Both the principal that got taxed in the beginning and then the interest you gain over time will no longer be taxable when you take a distribution. You can mix and match the two as well. You can do a little bit of pre-tax or Roth contribution. But of course, every person's situation is different. So I would say the best option is to consult with a retirement specialist and your tax consultant what would be the best in your specific situation. To start, you just need $25, that the minimum to open an account, and it will take 2 pay period from the moment you enroll to the moment that you will see the first deduction. And of course, you can increment that little by little because that will make a big difference. But you know what will make even a greater difference? That would be start as soon as possible. And this is the story of Jamie, Carol, and Jordan. That's a story of success versus with a person starting early versus a person starting later in their career. In fact, Jamie started when she was 21, along with Carol. But for some reason in her life, things changed, and when she was 35, she was no longer able to contribute to her account, and so she contributed a total of 14 years. Carol instead was able to contribute for the full time she was working for the state, meaning until age 67, for a total of 46 years. They all contribute the same amount of money per month, $230, and 7% was the hypothetical growth rate for both accounts. So at the end of their career, with having contributed a little bit less than $40,000, age 67, Jamie looked to a very nice 560,000 account balance. Carol, instead, having contributed almost $130,000, she can look forward to close to $1 million in her account. And that is all what we expect. You invest longer, you put more money in, and that's why Carol is more successful than Jamie. But look at the story of Jordan. Jordan, I think, is a very good case of that not be always the case. So Jordan started his account at age 35 and went all the way contributing to his account until age 67, which gave him 32 years of contribution and a total contribution amount of over $88,000. Assuming that he contributed the same amount of Jamie and Carol every month and collected the same hypothetical growth rate of 7%, at 67, he's looking at a little bit more than $300,000. So I want you to notice this. While Jordan contributed twice as long as Jamie and put almost twice as much as Jamie did, at the end of their career, Jordan will look at his account with a lot less returns. And that is because Jamie had a head start. She was starting at 21, which gave her, 14 years advantage starting compared to Jordan. So it doesn't, at the end of the day, your strategy is not necessarily what makes the difference. In this case, what makes the difference is really having start sooner than later. So if you're still on the edge and don't know if that's right for you, I would recommend you to take the Jamie route rather than the Jordan route, because that will benefit you in the long term. Can you contribute to any of these accounts in any other way? Well, if you have an outside retirement account, you can always roll over those accounts. Anything but a Roth IRA is eligible. And of course, remember all those unused leave credit hours, your vacation, annual leave, personal holidays, those are all cashable amount that you may want to roll over or lump sum, better say, in Savings Plus upon separation, so to reduce the actual cost, zero cost to lump sum this money into your Savings Plus account upon separation. The question now is like, how do we grow your money? So there are 4 different ways, but today I will focus only on 2 primary ways. One is called the Help Me Do It, also known as the targeted funds. And the other one is also called the Do It Myself option, investing in the savings core fund selection. So the targeted fund, basically, it's a portfolio that the state will manage for you, which will adjust risk and return based on your current age and when you turn 62. The next slide will show you how that works. We will look what's your current age, and basically we're looking when you turn possibly 62, because that's when we, as the state of California, assume you will want to take a distribution. And based on that choice, you will, based on that age, you will have your portfolio adjusted investment-wise from now until that point. Your portfolio will reflect more equity-heavy approach early in your career, where you have the opportunity for growth. And as you approach more and more your retirement age, or when you take a distribution, assuming that is 62, your portfolio will automatically adjust in a more conservative way to possibly reduce your market exposure at that point in time. This is a great option for people that really want to be hands off. They want the state to manage their investment, and they want the account to self adjust every month or every quarter based on their current age. Another option that we have available in 2026 is the do it myself option, which allows you to choose any of our core investment funds, anything from the active management to the passive management. And this basically allows you to basically tailor your investment based on your preferences. Some are more risk taker, and choosing stocks will increase that opportunity. Some of us are more conservative, risk adverse, and so balance in bonds and short-term investment are maybe a better option. The one things that really this slide does not show is the cost. And I want to point out to everybody that active management, while producing oftentimes the same type of return of the passive management, they just incur in higher fees. So be aware that if you choose anything that just end with the word fund, you will pay a little bit more than if you choose any of our core investment that end with the word index fund. Those are always the cheaper option out there. But the question is like, how do I know which one are best suited for my portfolio? That's when my investment planner can really help you. This is a quick survey you can take while logging in your account or even outside by looking at my investment planner under different tools on our website, savingsplusnow.com. And this survey will ask you several questions to assess your risk tolerance. Based on this risk tolerance, we'll give you a portfolio that will allow you to adjust your strategy based on your personality. There are different personality, anything from conservative to moderate to aggressive personality, and all will be reflected in the different portfolio mix that will be produced by the investment planner. This is a great option available to you if you want to have a more tailor-fit approach to your investment. Can you enroll? Yes, anytime. As I said, you can go to savingsplusnow.com/enroll, or if you're ready right now, or you want to do it after this presentation, feel free to scan this QR code, and that will bring you straight to the enrollment page for you to enroll today. But remember, it's going to always take 2 pay period before you will actually be able to see paycheck deduction. Last things, be aware that today is not the end of your education when it comes to investing and retirement. We have several incredible webinars as well as workshops that I can bring to your department if you're in the Sacramento region, or I can help coordinate with other people across the state of California. We can bring this and other presentation to your off-staff meeting on any other event with a large group of employees. So feel free to reach out back to me. I will write in the chat box my email. If you also want to a quick account review, I can do that for you. Or if you want to schedule another workshop for your department, I'll be more than happy to assist you. And that concludes my presentation, and I'm hoping for any question you have.
Thank you, David. That was excellent presentation. Again, very informative. A couple of questions that came to the chat, and I'm going to read it. One said, sorry, could you repeat if I have to pay penalty if I retire at 50 and start withdrawing 401k?
So your ability to retire open up the possibility to take a distribution from your account. For more state employees that were hired a long time ago, 50 is the normal retirement age. For new employee, normal retirement age is closer to 62. But again, when you retire, there's no penalty. The only penalty will be to take a distribution from your account prior to retirement.
Great. The other question is, what happens if Savings Plus declares bankruptcy? Is the principal contribution lost, or is it protected by an insurance or some other instrument?
Yes, that's a great question. In fact, this is a risk involved with any type of financial investment. There's not a
Mhm.
protection of the principal because this is not a FDIC insured account. So potentially there's the chance that the account will lose its account balance. But realistically, the market has been positive 70% of the time, and only 30% of the time is negative. So in case of a state employee having a long-term investment strategy, the possibility that your account balance will be wiped out, it's very slim. In fact, on average, an downturn in the market, which is an adjustment, take around 8 to 9 years to recover. And so long-term investor very randomly encounter the problem to lose money in their account. But this is again is a possibility like with any other investment.
One other question, I'm going to turn it over to Alex. Someone said, last time I used Savings Plus tools, some of them were not that accessible with a screen reader. Is this something that Saving Plus is working on? How can that be that the website is not accessible for screen readers? That's some of the
Right.
basic accessibility.
Right. That it's a great question. I will be happy to follow up with you and bring this situation to our investment committee. Feel free to reach out to me via email, and I will definitely bring this concern to the unit.
Great. Thank you. Alex, go ahead.
Thank you. I was going through the chat and also collecting questions. Somebody said that they may have missed this at the very beginning. Are employees only allowed to enroll in Savings Plus after completing the 12-month probation period as a new state employee?
Oh, great question. No, in fact, you are actually able to enroll in Savings Plus at any time, whether you're a full-time employee and going through probation, or even if you are a PST employee and the state is already enrolling you in a Savings Plus account, you can also open an account for yourself. So as long as you work with the state in any capacity, you have the ability to open your Savings Plus account. But if you leave the state prior to having opened one, you will not be able to open it after you separate it.
And then I guess a follow-up question of my own. Let's say you open it and you're with the state, and then for whatever reason you depart. Do you have to cash it out, or can it remain there and continue compounding?
Correct. Once you have an account open with Savings Plus, you are not required to leave the state. The only case will be if you have an account balance of less than $1,000 and you have not done any operation in the past 2 years, then there will be a cash out opportunity if you no longer contribute or engage with your account. But for most state employees that are engaged or make a contribution or even have opened it, they can keep it for the rest of their life.
Okay. And then another question from the chat is, do you think it's a good idea to invest in both types at the same time in the same amount, or is it better to just pick one?
Correct. That's a great question. We discourage to open both a 401k and 457 plan unless you have more than the IRS contribution limit to invest, meaning if you have more than $24,500 to invest per year until age 50 or more than $32,500 after age 50, that would be the only situation when we require you to open a second account. Otherwise, will be just not necessary a good move because you will be paying basically for two accounts and only use a half or less than half each.
Okay. And then one more question of my own, and then I think there was one more in the chat. So the two types of accounts that you discussed are awesome. And I'm wondering, is there any kind of logistic within those that is of benefit to people with disabilities, or would that be different and something more similar to CalAble?
Right. So our account are not specific for a disability. They don't have any component like the CalAble account. Are simply retirement account.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And then one question from the chat. Could you talk a bit more about the fees you mentioned? I was confused. There's a flat rate of $2 per month, but then you said to pay more if you chose the self-managed option.
Yeah, so no, the self-managed option, as well as the target date fund, they do not carry any fee. The only fee you will pay is $2 a month for your main account and what's called an expense ratio. An expense ratio basically is a tax that any plan sponsor, could be Savings Plus, Fidelity, Edward Jones, any investment agency out there, would charge in your account balance. This often is not discussed, but this is really what eat up your account. So make always sure that you pay in the least expense ratio when you open an account outside of the state. The state has some of the lowest, if not the lowest, expense ratio in the industry, which is on average 1%, sometimes up to 3%. Ours is a lot lower than that. And that would be the only cost you will incur. If you were have a managed account that with the Wilshire Associate, and also called a pro account, that will incur additional fee on a quarterly basis. But there are two main accounts we offer: the target date fund, which is the default investment option you enter once enrolling in Savings Plus, as well as the core fund investment. Those don't carry any more fees.
Great. Thank you.
That's all the questions we have here. So thank you again, David. And for the rest of the audience, you can reach him. Did you post your contact information, David? So it's already there. He's more than happy to come to your work site or present before a group, and he's easily accessible. And he also presented you with the QR code that, is it possible to list that in the chat, David, or is that on the Saving Plus site?
It's on the website, but if you
Okay.
want the direct link to the enrollment page,
Mhm.
send me an email and I'd be more than happy to send you the direct link to the enrollment page.
Great. Thank you again for agreeing to do this for us. It was informative presentation. We learned a lot about Saving Plus and retirement. So thanks.
Thank you.
And you're welcome to come back and present here at SDAC anytime, and you're welcome to stay on.
Thank you very much, Bobby.
All right. Have a great day, David.
Thank you.